Have you ever had the feeling that someone, somewhere knows more about you than they should? Not just your name or your profile picture, but your address, your old phone numbers, even the places you visited. But here's the thing. You never gave them that information. You never signed up. You never clicked agree. And yet, it's all there, sitting on a website you've never even heard of. It sounds like something out of a conspiracy theory, right? But this isn't a theory. It's real, and it's happening right now. Welcome to the world of data brokers, tracking pixels, and digital surveillance, where your personal life is just another commodity, bought and sold without you ever knowing. We all know the internet is full of data, but some websites know way more about us than we'd ever expect. Websites you've never even heard of. It's not just your social media posts or online shopping history. These sites track your location, your browsing habits, and even your private conversations. But here's the thing. Who's gathering this information, and how did they get it? What's even scarier is that some of these sites are perfectly legal, and they're often hidden behind a wall of privacy policies that are too long to read. Let's start with a couple of examples you've probably never heard of. True People Search and Family Tree Now. These sites claim to help people reconnect with long-lost family members. But what they really do is scrape and expose personal details, like your name, address, phone number, and even your relatives' names, without asking for your permission. All this information is out there, just waiting for anyone to look it up. Even if you never visited these sites, your information is still there. These are scraping your data from public records, social media platforms, and even other databases. So even if you've kept your profile private, there are always ways for these sites to access your information. There are other websites that go even further, sites that track your every move online. For example, Spoko and Bin verified aggregate information from your social media profiles, online purchases, and even court records. These sites aren't just about finding family members. They're about finding you in the most detailed way possible. You might think you're careful about what you share, but remember, there are ways your data can slip through the cracks. For instance, your social media profile might be locked, but those public comments, likes, and shares can still be accessed by these sites. There are sites like People Finders and Intellius, which go a step further by offering up information like criminal records or email addresses you've never given out. These websites are just the tip of the iceberg. There are real people who've experienced this firsthand. Take Robert O'Neill, for instance, the Navy SEAL who took down Osama bin Laden. His personal information was found on Spokeo and Family Tree Now, showing details like his address, phone number, and even his family members' names. Robert never asked for this, and yet these websites had it all, just sitting there for anyone to find. It's not just celebrities, though. Regular people have fallen victim to this too. Like Samantha Adams, a woman who found her old phone number listed on Family Tree Now, despite having changed it years ago. But it wasn't just one number. She found multiple, including one from her college years that she'd never shared publicly. All of this exposed without her consent, just because these data brokers scraped old information from public records, social media, and other places. So, how do these websites know so much about you, even if you never visited them? Well, some of these get their information from data leaks. When a company's database gets hacked, think Equifax or Yahoo, your data can end up on the dark web. From there, it gets sold, and that's how these data brokers get their hands on it. Take Facebook, for example. Back in 2018, the company experienced a major breach that exposed the data of 50 million users. Imagine this. Your information could have been out there, sold to the highest bidder, and you wouldn't even know. Some websites also track your browsing habits, even when you're not on their page. Have you ever noticed how ads seem to follow you around the internet? That's because websites use cookies to track your actions, sometimes without your consent. These cookies record everything from what you search for to what you click on, and even how long you spend on a page. AI systems analyze your behavior to predict your next move and build a profile of you, even if you never signed up for it. In fact, Google and Facebook are known to be some of the biggest culprits when it comes to collecting data through cookies. These companies track not only what you do on their platforms, but on other websites you visit as well. Well, there are websites that offer to delete your data, but getting it all removed can be harder than you think. For instance, Delete Me is a service that claims to remove your personal information from data broker websites. But it's not a one-time thing. These sites keep updating their databases, and unless you keep up with it, your info might just end up back out there. And even if you successfully remove your data, you're still vulnerable. These websites can keep gathering new information from your activities, and even if they wipe one thing off, it could pop back up under a different name. So, what can you do? First, be aware. Your personal data is out there, and you may not even know it. The best you can do is stay vigilant, keep an eye on these sites, and take action when needed. Use fake details for non-essential accounts. Avoid using your real name on forums, social media. Use data removal services like OneRep or Delete Me, or request data removal from different sites. But the truth is, as long as you're online, you're never truly anonymous. The web is watching, and it knows more about you than you might think. And maybe, just maybe, it's time we start paying more attention to the world behind the screen. You're being watched, whether you know it or not.